Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Blind by King coming to you, and I'm going to take a moment. It's going to be a little bit longer video, so hang with me. I'm going to do a comparison with Oud Satin Mood, Les Sables Roses, and Louis Vuitton. So without further ado, we're going to get to it. The first thing we're going to talk about is box presentation. And so the first one is this is Oud Satin Mood. I believe it's Oud Satin, or the box was the exact same to this if it's not Oud Satin Mood. But this is a very designer type box, nothing special. Louis Vuitton to me has a little bit nicer presentation when you get into this one. And what happens is, that comes a little bow and then two samples there at the bottom. So I like the presentation. That orange is classic. And then Bond number 9 comes with the plastic sheath and it's packaged up really nice. So there. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and give the edge to Louis Vuitton just because they give you free samples in the box. But Bond number 9 is right behind them. And of course, MFK, they're going to be in third place on that one. Now, let's take a look at the actual bottles. Very nice bottle from Bond. Very, very nice. Oud Satin Mood. You know what it looks like. Sorry, it's got some fingerprints on it. And then, of course, you have Louis Vuitton that has their sort of classic minimalist look. And right there. Okay. So on bottle presentation, I think Bond has the nicest bottle out of the three. All right. And you may not agree, but I think Bond has the nicest bottle. And then I'm going to probably just go with MFK on for second place and then Louis Vuitton. All right. Now let's get down to the nitty gritty. We're going to talk about the actual performance of these fragrances. Now, as it relates to the performance, Bond is going to come in third. Great fragrance. But the other two just have a little bit better projection and it outperforms it. And so for actual performance, Louis Vuitton and MFK are really neck and neck for performance because this Louis Vuitton lasts all day. And when you first put it on, it projects like a champ. So Louis Vuitton might get the edge right there as it relates to the projection of the fragrance and the performance of the fragrance. Now, Bond does project good when you put it on, but it doesn't, that level of projection doesn't last as long. It'll become an elbow length scent quicker than these other two will. This fragrance on me radiated out probably at least 3 feet. And this one about the same. But far as how long that initial burst lasts, this one lasted the longest. Now, overall performance, about which one performs the best, honestly, it was Louis Vuitton. And right behind it, I mean, like not even a hair behind it was Oud Satin Mood. And then in third on that one was, of course, Nomad by Bond number 9. So when we look at the bottle, it's Louis. We look at the box, it's going to be Bond. When we look at initial projection, it's Louis Vuitton, and then ultimate performance, it's Louis Vuitton. Now, as far as the sillage is concerned, it was definitely Louis Vuitton, and then again, right behind it, Oud Satin Mood, and then Bond coming in third place. Now, if you want to talk about the uniqueness of the scent profile, I think Oud Satin Mood and Les Sables Roses, they have a little bit more of a similar scent profile. But this one, I think what distinguishes it is that it opens up with some pear. And this one is Rose and Oud, not as much oud, but Rose and Oud, but it's slightly sweeter. And there's a sweetness that's present in this one that's not really present in the other two fragrances. They're, to me, on me, they're booming with the rose and with the oud. But the uniqueness of this one, to me, I think distinguishes it. So when you look at far as the uniqueness of the scent, I'm going to go with this one because there's a sweetness to it with the rose and oud. And then We'll go with MFK second because when it does get to the latter stages of the dry down, it can dry down slightly sweeter towards the end, and then the MFK. So now let's talk about the fragrance that I enjoyed the most, okay? So we'll work our way up to number one. So quite honestly, I enjoyed this one a lot, but not as much as the others. And there's nothing wrong with it. In my opinion, this is a 10 out of 10 fragrance, checks all the boxes, smells amazing, has a great scent profile. But I did like that Bond had a slightly sweeter and unique take on Rose and Oud. I thought that was good, but you can't go wrong with this one. And then next up, I definitely did like the Bond. I definitely like the sweetness that was present in the fragrance. I thought the pair sort of gave it a different direction. And but I felt like the scent profile was great, but this Les Sables Roses, there's just something really unique and special about it. So if you're talking about just the scent alone, I'm going to go with this right here. I enjoyed this smell the most, and honestly, it absolutely drew the most comments. I walked into work, and within 2 minutes of being there was somebody in my office. I made a video. I was stuffing popcorn down my face, and they came in and wanted to know what was I wearing. They wanted to take a picture of the bottle. They wanted to get it for their husband. So this fragrance is absolutely amazing. Now, if I had to pick out of the three, then obviously I'm going to pick this one because it checked pretty much all the boxes. You had a nice presentation. You had the best projection. You had the best performance and the scent profile that I enjoyed the most. Now, are these two way behind? I don't think so. But I just think that this one distinguished itself, and it was absolutely amazing. I wore it one time, blind buy, but let me tell you, this thing is absolutely, positively a laser. It's beyond a missile. It's a laser. This is a missile. This is an incredible, incredible fragrance. It's iconic, but you really got to try these two side by side and then try this one as well. Great fragrances. All of them check a lot of the boxes, check all the boxes, but this one just stood out to me. And as far as I'm concerned, as it relates to these three different takes on Rose and Oud, I'm giving a nod to Louis Vuitton, and I'm going to have Bond right behind it just because of the uniqueness of the smell. This one outperforms it, but that just had a more unique smell. And then right behind is Oud Satin Oud. I love Oud Satin Oud, but that's just my personal ranking. Let me know what you guys think. I know this video was a little bit longer, but those are my thoughts. Those are my takes on these three very iconic fragrances. This is the Blind Buy King. These were all blind buys. I'll smell you later.